Anything you want to say that you don't want to say live that you're going to say anyway right now?
No, I wasn't even going to bring that up.
Not today. You weren't
Not
going to bring it up. Nice
Well,
one.
I almost like said something to like Tellman.
You
That was
didn't.
funny yesterday, but
You didn't catch your own Freudian slip there, did you?
no, I
You don't want
didn't.
to bring it up.
No, I got it now. I got it.
Yeah, that's good. That's
That's
good.
funny.
Come on, a little more coffee, Rory. Let's
Is that a
go.
little bulletproof coffee there?
This is the end of I drink a whole Chemex full of bulletproof coffee every morning, and this is the tail end of my bulletproof. I just got back from my run with my running partner, who came to meet me at about 8, and we normally do 5 or so miles. We only did 4 today because we were a little short on time. Went for a run. I had some bulletproof coffee in me early, got an email out for the 4-day cash machine for my private hypnosis sessions.
Nice.
And to get the day kicked off. And so off to a get shit done Saturday morning, as they say.
I love that, dude. I meant to tell you yesterday that I had recently done a 4-day cash machine, and I was working with a couple who built their business completely off of organic and SEO. Like, it's
Right.
super impressive. And they had this, I don't know, 30,000, 15,000, 20,000 person list. And we did a 4-day cash machine, and they changed email number 3 at the last minute. Because they didn't like the stats they were seeing in the email. Their audience wasn't used to
right.
Just pure sales content, this,
Right.
that, and the other thing. And I'm just like, oh, guys, like, there's a reason why you do it this way. And by the way, like, the cool thing was they wrote a good email. It was a very good email,
Right.
but it interrupted the 4-day cash machine. And I was just like,
right.
Sigh,
Right.
heavy
No,
sigh.
yeah. It's like, oh, we'll just bake it at double the temperature for half the time. It'll work better that way. That's no. Yep. No, you got to learn the formula first, and then you tweak the formula, and you start getting creative after you understand how it works. That's the deal. That's how I mean, in my experience, that's the deal.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. So on that note, if you have 2 days left until midnight tomorrow night to sign up for a private hypnosis session with me at Pay What It's Worth to You at workwithtellman.com. You get 5 amazing recorded hypnosis sessions. 4 amazing recorded hypnosis sessions plus my book, All Hypnosis is Self-Hypnosis. When you sign up, you don't have to pay my normal $1,000 a session. You name your own price, what the transformation would be worth to you. And you get the 5 bonus sessions all at once. And then we'll get on the phone. We'll get on Zoom the next 2 weeks. Basically, schedule permitting. I only work with about 1 client per day most of the time. And then I'm going to take the pay what you want, name your own price, pay what it's worth offer down indefinitely. So 2 days. If you've been thinking about it, if you've been hesitating, stop hesitating, workwithtellman.com. All right. With that said, little commercial break over for the moment. One of the things I like about the Get Shit Done show is because it's entrepreneurs. I really want to teach people how to comfortably promote their stuff anytime, any place without notice. Right. And that's like one of the nice things about being a co-host, I think, and being an interviewee is like, we're very intentionally like, yes, we want you to pitch your stuff. We want you to practice it. We want you to get better at it. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. What are you happiest or most excited about in your life right now, Rory?
Well, personally, as I mentioned yesterday, I got to go to Reagan's volleyball tournament last night, which I rarely get to do.
Cool.
Had an absolute blast watching my daughter just be in her element and shine. And I think I'm going to get to do it again today. So pretty psyched about that.
Rock and roll. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was doing 75 hard for a long time, for months, and I was like exercising every day and just like totally kicking ass. We got co-host Curtis on the line. What's up, Curtis? Curtis is on Sundays. How's it going, dude? Good to see you. Straight in from Canada, I see. Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Is it illegal for us to have Curtis on our live stream right now?
I was going to ask, like, you know, do we have to pay him a certain extra amount of money more for him to be here?
Yeah, are there live stream tariffs of some sort happening?
What would Governor Trudeau say? Had to throw that out there. I don't want to get political.
All right. Good. Regardless of your political affiliation, Curtis, you're welcome here as far as I'm concerned. We'll have Curtis on tomorrow. So I don't even remember what we were saying.
Your positive focus.
What? Yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah. I haven't been running that much. I haven't been exercising that much. As soon as I stopped 75 hard, I stopped exercising entirely for several weeks. I can't believe how obsessive I am. Anyway, so I went for an awesome run this morning with Ivan, and we just feel absolutely fantastic. Feel very cleared out and connected and ready to rock. So very stoked. Curtis gives us a Canadian ha 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 ha.
It's not even just a ha ha ha. It's a Canadian ha ha ha. That's funny.
So cool. So Rory, like quick update, like what shit have you gotten done since we last spoke?
Well, shit, what did I get done?
On the spot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I got out yesterday's episode of Brutally Honest Ad Reviews to mail while I was actually driving to downtown Tampa. So I set it up to go out in the afternoon. What else did I get done after the show? It's another personal win, and it's a bad personal win. I'll explain why in a second. Right after we got done with the show, and I almost had to do it today, my daughter found out that Costco restocked the brand new Pokemon tins. So I raced over to Costco and got my daughter the brand new Pokemon collection.
Okay.
And that was getting shit done, a nice father-daughter moment.
Good.
I say it was a bad thing because I have a very, very highly addictive personality, and I've been keeping Pokemon cards at a distance because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole with my kids.
Yeah.
But I got that hit of adrenaline of like racing there, running in, securing that victory. Now all I want to do is go buy Pokemon cards. So I got shit done.
You're becoming a Pokemon card collector?
No. I'm not.
I saw this thing on Facebook. I'd seen it before a few years ago, but it was really funny. This old guy in Japan on a bike, and it has
phones.
Well, it's at first he has one phone and he's like in his 90s or something. He has like one phone, and then there's a picture of him with like an array with like 6 phones, and then apparently he has like 900 phones or something all stacked up, and he has like all the Pokemon. He collects them all.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, or as so the Facebook post says, he doesn't ever engage in battles because he doesn't want it to be unfair for all the kids. You know, like it's like so funny. So that's you.
Yeah. No. But anyway, that's getting shit done, and that's a different kind of getting shit done, right? Like we talk about work getting shit done. Well, I want to also recognize and celebrate that there's also family time getting shit done.
Absolutely.
Which is just as fucking important, if not more important, in my world.
No, it is more important.
Yeah.
Because it's no good. It's no good if you have a bunch of money and nobody to share it with.
Yeah.
And,
so let's turn the tables and put you on the spot. What kind of shit have you gotten done since we talked?
Yeah. So did the show. Kurt, Molly, and I had a scheduled phone call at 10:30.
Nice.
So I had about an hour-long talk with him, which I'd like to discuss with you today.
Yes.
After I spoke with Kurt, it was Friday. What else did I do? I'm trying to remember back what I know that I had a 4 p.m. hypnosis session that was awesome. Really, really good hypnosis session where I hypnotized a new client who had been on my list for over 10 years, who had downloaded some of my free hypnosis programs and had never purchased a thing.
10 years.
And she's like, I'd been reading your emails for 10 years. And then today, the email came through at the perfect time. And so I clicked on the link and scheduled an appointment.
Nice.
And I was like, fascinating. So, and this particular individual, she wanted to be hypnotized to become a better listener, to be more present, to genuinely connect and listen from the heart, especially when she felt like she was being blamed or accused of something. I was like, wow, you know, what a great thing. And so, anyway, did a really awesome hypnosis session on, and it was funny because all the things that she said that she wanted to improve on, I'm like, you know what, I suffer from all of those things. So great. You know, it was funny because many of the things that she was struggling with are totally things I struggle with. Right. Yeah. So it was great. We had a really good hypnosis session. I had several other calls. I'm trying to remember with who. You know, I got some more emails out. I did some more social posting. Oh, that's what I did. I built an entire webinar system.
Nice.
Forgot about this. I built a webinar registration system for a webinar I'm doing next week with Jonathan Mizell, who on hypnosis for weight loss.
Holy shit, Jonathan Mizell, that's a name from the past, huh?
I've been working with him for months. We've been working on rebuilding sales funnels for his fatty liver solution book. And we've launched a few that have we've not yet hit pay dirt, right? We've launched a few iterations that have not crushed. And so he's been selling fatty liver diet related things for 7-8 years. And
are we talking about Levi Jonathan Mizell, like the okay, got it. Very cool.
Yeah, he had fatty liver and he reversed it, and then he wrote a book about it, and he's been selling it for almost a decade.
Dude, that is really, really fascinating for multiple reasons. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, he and I have been doing work parties together for months, up to 3 times a week. Wow. So yeah, that's one way that I've been collaborating with people for the last few years is work parties, scheduling in time. So you know what? I'm going to ask you this question. This thing that really bugs me about myself.
Okay.
So work parties are a coping mechanism for me because I have a really hard time staying focused and on task when I'm trying to do a project by myself in a little bubble with nobody around. And so, like, for example, building a webinar registration system. I did it yesterday, but it's been in stalled mode for 3 weeks and it only needed about an hour of work. And so like, but this goes back to like high school and research papers and, you know, like this kind of pattern that I have of not wanting to do like follow through on the work when I'm in isolation. On the other hand, when I'm collaboratively creating something, like if I have to go live, if I have to do a webinar, if I have to do a live stream, like no problem, like, you know, flip the switch on, like ready to go. But holding myself accountable to follow through on to-do list items has always been really hard for me. And so one way that I dodged that is I got good at delegating when I had enough money to delegate, right? I went from early on, I went from solopreneur to having a team, and I got really good at delegating, but I wasn't good at following through on my own to-do list items. And I'm better at it now than I used to be, but I still I feel like I need a babysitter in order
Yeah.
to follow through on my to-do list items. And I'm wondering what's your experience of this?
Yeah, there's by the way, I just want to tell you, I wrote down a couple points that I want to make sure we circle back to on this. But my experience, I absolutely need deadlines. If you say, "Hey, Rory, can you do this for me?" I'll do it. I'll get to it eventually. But if we don't put a hard deadline on it, or I don't have somebody following up with me,
Right.
I'm not going to do it. I mean, and it's not like a universal principle for me. I mean, there are times where I'll just knock shit out,
Right.
but as a rule of thumb, there needs to be
Yeah, I
some
mean,
kind
there are always exceptions, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
But
And
like
extenuating circumstances, whatever.
let's talk reality, right? So from July of 2021 to July of 2023, I worked as a contractor technically for clients on demand. And shortly after joining, I was asked to kind of update the Facebook ads curriculum. And I was new, right? I was still kind of feeling like I was proving myself to the company, and I was relying on the paycheck. And they asked me to do it, and their ops director worked with me, and I knocked that shit out. About 6 to 8 months later, they wanted it updated again. I think it was because of iOS 14 or some reason they wanted it updated. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll do it. Now, I'd already done it. I'd already been accepted into the culture and the company, and I felt
Right.
secure in my job and all that shit. And I just and by the way, like, one of the cool things about the work is that, like, it was technically a full-time job, but like I was so dialed in and streamlined that I got stuff done very, very quickly. So it's not like I didn't have time. I just was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And a month would go by, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll get to it. And finally, the ops director reached back out and was like, Rory, we really need to get this update done. When are you going to have it done? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel bad. I've just been. She's like, shut up. I don't care that you feel bad. Like, when are you going to get
When's it going to be done? Yeah.
And I'm like, just can you please give me a deadline? And she's like, fine. I want it done by such and such a day. And I sat down and knocked it out.
So how does that play into you setting deadlines for yourself today? Like not today, but like in your own projects right now, you know?
Yeah. So, again, I would say as a rule of thumb, there needs to be some kind of carrot at the end of the stick. So for instance, let's say I commit to a client, there's that external pressure of, I need to get this done. Let's look at, brutally honest ad reviews, right?
Yeah.
I went back and looked. I made that announcement, I believe, on January 6th that I was coming up with this idea. I didn't launch it until March 1st.
And that's not because there was something standing in your way.
Well, there were a couple things standing in the way, but they were things that I could have gotten done sooner, faster, et cetera, et cetera. But my point is, like, that took well over 30 days to get going. And it shouldn't have. And, I did have, by the way, that same ops director. She eventually left Clients on Demand, came to work with me part-time. And even she wasn't holding my feet to the flame to the degree that she used to. And I think finally what drove it was another external circumstance, which was, I lost some business. I need to get clients. I need to take a stand and put myself out in the marketplace in a very big way. And one thing that I'm really good at is self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I reflect and process a lot. And I finally was like, it's time. Like, there's no reason not to launch it. It's not perfect.
Right.
It's not 100% complete, but it may never. So let's just go. Let's just fucking do it. And I launched it, and that's it. So
for people who are watching right now, what are you procrastinating on launching? I want to hear about it in the comments. What is a project? Like, tell us as much or as little about it as you want, but like, what's a project or an initiative or something that you want to do that you committed to doing that you're totally dragging your feet on? Out of curiosity, what is it for you right now?
Yeah, and I kind of wonder, does Tellman have a procrastination session? Overcome procrastination?
As a matter of fact, right now, I'm giving away not one, not two, but three hypnosis sessions when you join getshit.com for free.
Ooh.
You get the Get Shit Done session that hypnotizes you to get shit done. You get the 10K per month session, which hypnotizes you to make $10,000 per month. And you get the Overcome Procrastination session.
Dude, would you look at this? I just, out of curiosity, went to getshitdone.com.
Yeah.
And I'm not a member. So I am joining right now. Like, how the hell am I not?
Yeah, I didn't see you in there. I didn't know that you weren't a member. I knew that you weren't very active. Do you do much in school?
I don't.
Dude, I actually had a thought. I was thinking about you while I was taking a shower, Rory. And
wouldn't be the first time.
This is an in-your-face thought, but you know how we were talking a little bit about how you've gotten kicked out of a bunch of Facebook groups and stuff?
Ah, yes.
And that relates back to you just speaking your mind and saying what's on, like unfiltered, which there are pros and cons, right? And because I was telling my girlfriend about you, and she's in Spain right now. We were having a catch-up talk, and I was telling her about you and us working together and blah blah. And my thought was, I think that, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I think that you've gotten kicked out of so many groups because you haven't learned how to become a great leader of groups.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you need to change your personality or you should be more filtered, though you would get a different result. What I'm saying is that if you learn how to start and cultivate and grow a connected group, that will change the way you communicate with people, and it will improve the way you communicate with people. Otherwise the group will die. Like, you'll know if people stay in the group and stay connected, you'll know you have something.
Yeah, so this is fascinating, right? So earlier we were talking, you'd given me some some other feedback, and I was like, Tellman, you can give me feedback all day, every day, and I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to share a story. My last year of my doctoral program, as I was finishing my internship, my direct supervisor, we went out for a walk in the parking lot around the building, and we were just talking. And she gave me some interesting feedback. And as I'm walking the whole time, I'm like, yep, I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. And she finally stopped and was like, Rory, this is serious. Like, you need to take my feet. Like, and I was like, you do, like, I'm taking everything in that you're saying. Are you expecting me to push back and argue with you?
Right.
And she's like, well, you're just being too good. And I'm like, because I'm actively listening to you, I'm receiving that feedback and processing it and taking it into account. Now, 50% of what she was saying, she could take and shove up her ass. 50% of it was spot on. But again, whether I think she should take it and shove it up her ass, number one, she's a supervisor. I'm not in a position to tell her that. Number two, I'm still going to listen to it and process it because it's somebody's perspective. So again, I piss people off because I take constructive criticism so much. Like, yes, sir, please, may I have another? Keep going. Tell me. And they take it the wrong way. So the reason I've shared a couple of these random thoughts here is that, yeah, you can give me all the feedback you want, Tellman. I'm going to take it. My initial thought process when you said, be a better leader, I was going to be like, Tellman, you don't know what you're talking about. But I kept that in, right? Because it's not for me to be defensive. It's for me to have a conversation with you.
Sure.
So the groups that I tend to get kicked out of, it's never a surprise. It's never like, oh, what did I do wrong?
All right.
It's literally like, I get fed up with people's bullshit and victim behavior and this,
Right.
that, and the other thing. And so I kind of say stuff that I know I'm going to get kicked out. It's just fun, right? Like there was I was in a local Facebook group for my community, and I think this was during, COVID, when we were first under the lockdowns, and some person posted like, I can't believe the town isn't keeping up with mowing the grass on the medium on this stretch of highway. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, first off, like, so the thought pattern is, this person's a fucking Karen. Like, you got to be kidding me. There are bigger things to worry about in this world. Hey, Eddie, what's up, Eddie? There are bigger things to worry about in this world. Number two, like, I need to get out of this group. I don't need this kind of petty bullshit in my life. Right. I live in an HOA, right? So know that, right? I live in an HOA. Florida is full of homeowner associations. I think homeowner associations are really stupid and a waste of time and completely unnecessary. I think they do provide some benefit, and I promise this is getting somewhere. They do provide some benefit in keeping standards high, but they tend to give people power who don't deserve to have power. So, like, I jokingly in this group wrote, like, you've got to be kidding me. The world is literally on lockdown right now. People are losing their jobs. Family members are dying in nursing homes. And your big concern is to come on Facebook and complain about the grass not being mowed. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
You think I didn't know I was getting kicked out of that group?
Right.
Come on. So anyway, I appreciate what you're saying. One thing I think that you know better than anyone about me, because of the different roles we've had together, from, contractor, employee, partner, friend, mentor, all this shit. Like, I show up in different ways in different capacities.
Totally.
Now, that doesn't mean I wear masks, because I'm always unadulterated, unabashed Rory. But if you call me in to leave, or not leave, I don't know why. I think I saw Eddie's Ring app, and I was like, should I leave? If you put me in a position to lead, I'm going to lead. I'm going to fucking own it. I'm going to take that genius. I'm going to put that coat on, and I'm going to lead like I lead. If that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know why we went down this rabbit hole, but yes, I get kicked out of Facebook groups because I am who I am. And when I get sick and tired of people, I tell them like it is. Right. True. Now, true. Funny fucking story. You want to talk about getting kicked out of a Facebook group? I wear this like a badge of fucking honor. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in a Facebook group called Fuck It.
You got kicked out of a Facebook group called Fuck It?
Yep. I got kicked out of a Facebook group called Fuck It. And the leader...
That's a great title for a live stream, Rory.
Yep. The leader of the group didn't even have the fucking balls to tell me he was removing me. I just woke up one day. I went to look for it. I found out I wasn't in there anymore. I reached out to him and said, hey, dude, what's going on? He's like, oh, well, I had to remove you because, you were coming on pretty hard to this one girl in the group, and she's going through a lot, and, you're a married man and you should know better. And I'm like, okay, full stop. Because this girl and I had at least seemingly a rapport in the group where we were joking around with one another. And yes, she was very attractive, and I probably dropped a comment here and there, but at no point was I coming on to her or trying to slide into her DMs to get with her. And I go, okay. I go, so first off, you kick me out instead of coming to me like a man and saying, hey, Rory, you should probably think differently of how you're showing up in the group, because that's what I would do as a leader. Number two, did you get any complaints from this girl? No. So you took it upon yourself to be offended for her and kicked me out of the group? Oh, the fucking irony that I got kicked out of a group called Fuck It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Kicked out of a group called Fuck It. Anyway,
what's the lesson there, Rory?
To be unabashedly yourself, to own your fucking gifts and not give a shit what other people do to you, unless you're showing up in a way that is detrimental to your life.
That's
right?
right.
I show up and take full ownership and responsibility for who I am. I get the results that I'm okay with in life. Now, if I went to work and we're a complete asshole and we're getting, written up and threats of being fired, and that impacted my ability to earn and provide for my family, that's not a way to show up in life. But I still show up and get what I want out of this world. I need to get a little bit more, so I have to, take the feedback the world gives me. But good morning, all. Fascinating personal reveal. Thank you, Elizabeth. I recognize your name from the other day.
Yep. Morning,
Welcome
Liz.
back.
Good to see you.
Is it Liz? All right, we'll go with Liz.
Both. So, well, Rory, check it out. You want to talk about working on some projects?
Yes, let's go there, because we took some tangents.
Yeah.
Me.
So one of my concerns is that we have some similarities in the way that we operate with projects, kind of like what we were talking about with deadlines and these types of things. And so, whatever, we'll have to figure out how well we do working together with the team configuration that we have right now. But that aside, right? Here's the idea. So I spoke with Kurt.
I want to interrupt this idea.
Oh, hit it.
And I know you won't forget it, because I promised I wrote 2 things down that we were going to come back to.
Oh, circle back. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Number 1, I think we, as part of the Get Shit Show Done.
The Get Shit Done Show.
What did I say? The Get Done Shit Show?
The Get Shit Done Show. The shit. It's a tongue twister now. It doesn't matter what you said.
But anyway, for part of the Get Shit Done Show.
Yeah.
The fact that you sit here and just revealed to all of us that you'd been sitting on a webinar registration page for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Is like, Tellman, why didn't I know this as a co-host and a friend? So we need to add to the show a level of accountability to walk the walk and talk the talk. Like, Tellman, what are you working on this week? What do you need help with?
So yeah, well, here's the trick. You're right. And that's a part that we've started integrating in from time to time. But is the Get Shit Done Show an interview show? Is the Get Shit Done Show a daily check-in? They're different format. One of the things that I've done on the Get Shit Done Show a few times is a hypnosis session and an intervention with people. And so we have these different formats that we've been playing with. So we've done the Get Shit Done interventions, where it's kind of like a live client session, right? Where we're actually tearing apart like what you're doing, what you're not doing, what you're not getting done, why it's not getting done, what you need to do differently to get that shit done, right? Yep. Whether you need to think about things differently or schedule some shit in differently or whatever. Then there's a live hypnosis session where I talk with somebody for a little bit and then do the hypno.
Yeah.
Obviously, interviews an interview and check-ins a check-in. So,
well, let's do this, right? So obviously, episode 67.
Yes.
Things evolve, things are fluid, things come about from conversation, and we get into our stride. If it's the Get Shit Done Show,
Get Shit Done Show. Yeah.
Where is the positive focus? Why does that take precedence? That's not part of getting shit done, positive focus.
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, hold on. I promise. Hold on. Positive focus has been a part of your life for as long as I've known you. So it makes sense, regardless of what the reasons are. And I was being facetious that it doesn't have anything to do with it. But my point is, Tellman, that's part of your identity. Every time I've worked with you, and even showing up here, right? I didn't show up to the first Get Shit Done show as a guest and go, wait a minute, why are we doing positive focus? Right. I immediately was like, well, there's the welcome mat. I'm back in Tellman's world. We're doing positive focus.
That's cool.
So what's to stop us from doing positive focus, quick check-in? Tellman, what are you working on? Is there anything you're stuck on? Yes, great. What is it? No, awesome. We move on. Like that simple. Get it done.
Yeah.
I think that could be tremendous for both of us, because you better believe, dude, and this ties into, you know, you just said, well, we have very similar behaviors and how we work and whatnot.
Right.
Well, we do, but again, remember, like, in some ways, is it I'm a sponge, or I'm Play-Doh or putty. Like, I fit into the environment I need to be in. Honestly, most people do. Most people fit into roles based on where they are.
Sure.
And so one reason I can answer the question of, number one, helping you get stuff done, and why it doesn't matter that we have similar tendencies, is I've played the role of your project manager before.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And I've helped you get shit done. I mean, I think so I was hired, and I think it was, I spoke with Kyle, or Kyle recommended me. I spoke with Mike. Mike was like, yeah, we need you, but we do have to let you talk to Tellman. And I'm like, all right, I'll talk to Tellman, whatever.
We had talked before, because you had taken like perpetual marketing machine.
Right. But still, you still needed to talk to me about this specific
position.
With TNH, right? And then I get hired, and I feel like I probably told you this at one point or not. And I think somebody had told me behind the scenes, and if I get this wrong, no big deal. But I think I was told, like, the real reason you're being hired is to stay on Tellman's ass and make him get shit done. Like, literally. And there were times where I'd fucking call you at night, like 9 o'clock. Tellman, did you get this done yet? Because you know we're going to talk about it on tomorrow's meeting.
Right.
So that's how I know I can work with you. I know your personality. I know your style. And just because I sometimes struggle with my own motivation,
right,
or deadlines, being on top of you to get shit done is a different role. It's a whole different skill set as far as I'm concerned.
Cool. All right. Rock and roll. Well, interesting response. Not what I was expecting, but
so
awesome.
Look at how fucking circular I can be and still come back to the point.
That's right.
And answer it.
Very well done, Roy. Very well done.
Yeah.
Well circumnavigated. That's right.
I like that, huh? Yeah. So where were you going with this? So
okay, so check this out. So basically, I talked to Kurt, and you know, he shared the methodology. I'm going to be a little bit vague here, on purpose. He just to respect people's privacy. He shared the methodology that he learned from John, right? And how he's using his workshop framework in order to grow his business, really, and do the paid workshop framework in order to grow the business. And so we were talking that through, and Kurt was sharing with me how he has implemented this model for his clients, and it sounded very interesting. And but Kurt's like completely busy. He does not have time to work with anyone right now, in addition to the clients that he already has. And so he's like, give me 30 days and we could talk about it. And I was like, that's interesting. And at the same time, you and I are, and interested, like, ironically, both you and Kurt are like very experienced media buyers. I am not.
Yep.
I have not spent much time buying media at all. I am, for all sakes and purposes, a green media buyer, right?
Yep.
And like, I can't remember the last time I'm
going to stop for a second, because I don't know where you're going with this, and I don't care, because to me, it doesn't matter that you're a green media. It doesn't matter to me that you're a green media buyer, and I'm just using this as a playful way to mirror back to you.
Right.
I am green when it comes to hanging out with Sir Richard Branson. You are not.
Sure.
So who cares that you're green? Like,
no, I'm saying it means we're a good team, because you have a very clearly defined skill that I don't currently have.
Yes.
On my team or in myself right now.
Yes. And I, in return, don't know Sir Richard Branson, and I've never been to Necker Island. So I want you to help me get there.
All right.
There we go.
Well, let's do it. So the idea is, and you're simultaneously pretty fired up about Kurt's workshop method.
Yep.
And so my thought is, we just recently did a productivity webinar where we said, overcome procrastination, triple your productivity, get more done in the next 90 days than you got done all year.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to do a live group hypnosis session to supercharge your productivity. We're going to teach you all these cool things, right? Blah, blah, blah. It was roughly an hour-long webinar, 20 minutes of intro and welcome, 20 minutes of, I did it with Eric Oliver, 20 minutes of hypnosis, and 20 minutes of wrap up and pitch. And we had, I only promoted it one day before the webinar, but we had a 50% show up rate on the webinar, which was awesome, rare these days, but it was small numbers too, to be fair. Okay. Second is, I guess we had a 15% purchase rate. So 15% of the people who were on the webinar purchased a private session at the end.
That's really good.
Well, it depends. I mean, ultimately it depends on how the dollars pan out, right? And I'd have to go back and add up the numbers. But what I did find is that everyone stayed to the end. I told people I was going to pitch them at the beginning, and everyone stayed to the end. And people asked for a replay because they liked the hypnosis session so much. People who were on the webinar till the end asked for the replay because the hypnosis session felt so good.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's great.
So the topic in this case is productivity, which is directly tied in to get shit done in this case. It's a free hypnosis session and free hypnosis experience. It can be done live. It can be done pre-recorded. It can be done in a webinar. It can be done in a video. It can be done whatever. On all the mediums you can do this. Have you been, well, so the workshop webinar, I guess the workshop, the $99 workshop model, let's call it, is basically each 3-hour workshop is one of the foundational pieces of material of the greater course, right? And so if, for example, the greater course is the wealth hypnosis experience, we might cover a few different topics, right? We might cover money mindset. We might cover taking action. We might cover exploring new opportunities. We might cover spending time with people who are at the level you want to be at financially, like essentially building your community, building your culture, spending more time with people who are at the financial level you want to be instead of spending time with people who are at the financial level that you're at, right? Things like this. Weight loss, it would be another thing where you cover simple stuff, diet and nutrition, you cover cravings, you cover snacking, you cover hydration, you cover exercise, you cover mindset, right? So there are these different chunks, and each one of the workshops is basically a 3-hour in-depth training. And so one of those trainings could easily be procrastination, overcoming procrastination, and or increasing productivity. They're kind of the same thing, right? And so there are different paths you go down, but with the workshops, the interesting part is you don't really know which one's going to be a home run, right? But what you do is you release the workshop. So you sell the first workshop for $99, but then people can buy the other 5 at a steep discount at an upsell, or they can buy them separately in the future, right? And what?
C as in yes.
Yeah. So that's
bilingual.
That's the model. And so I know that you were thinking about that anyway with your stuff. And the thought was, what if we were to get on a paid workshop schedule and we
do
were
it.
to promote it, of course, organically, but also promote it with Facebook ads, right? And build it in a way that we can begin ramping up ad spend and somehow go into a partnership licensing agreement or something like this. Who knows exactly how it's structured, but essentially work together on that workshop model specifically with get shit done and or overcome everything related stuff, and see if we can get it to rock on a paid media front. But the question is, back to you, is I know that you're focused on growing your advertising your ad info marketing business and the agency on the back end. And how does this not become a how does the work with me not become a distraction? How is it actually something that's adding to and feeding what you're doing at its core? And is it? So I wanted to break, this is the idea I wanted to just explore more. So.
So number one, it's a great question, right? Like, so I'm doing my paid advertising thing and I want to build that out, and I have huge plans for that business. I actually have somebody who I've become very good friends with over the last year that I'm supporting him on his business just as an accountability partner and friend. We have been in talks about doing work together in some capacity. He has provided tremendous value to where I am today. And so I'm just sharing with you, right? Like brainstorming. And so I'm sorry, where I was going with this is, with what I want to build, what does get shit done have to do with anything? Why am I showing up as a co-host once a week when this has literally nothing to do with paid advertising?
Right.
And it's because this is fun. This is a lot of fun. This is different. This is holding my feet to the flame, committing to something. I know I say this a lot, Tellman, but I think it's important for, people to hear. I get to connect with you. Like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't I do this? And so now it becomes, all right, Rory, if you're building all of this and you're committing to 1 hour a week with the Get Shit Done show, and now I'm filling in for Eric when he's not around, and who the hell where this is going to go? And now, we're talking about, why would you want to do this kind of thing with, let's just say that we're totally separate, right? Or like, I'm just working with you. I'm collaborating with you. It doesn't lead anywhere for the 18 years of doing this, Tellman, almost 19. And I've been paid obnoxious amount of money for my time. And there's one thing I've learned out of all of it. And mind you, asterisk for people who don't know me, I fucking love money. I love having money and I love spending it on obnoxious shit and being able to do whatever I want. But there is no amount of money, no amount of freedom from that money when the work is not fun.
That's true.
So working with you is fun. Working with you allows me to, let's go back to the beginning, right? So when I got hired as a project manager by the new hypnotists, I was being paid $20 an hour. I think I had been a marketer for, 8 years, 7 years, whatever it was at the time. And I knew I was worth more than $20 an hour.
Sure.
And I took the job at the time, and people asked me, like, why the fuck are you doing this? $20 an hour. And I was like, this is not lip service. I've probably, I've told you this multiple times.
Right.
I literally was like, I'm going to have access whenever I want to one of the most brilliant fucking marketing minds of our time and get paid $20 an hour? Are you fucking kidding me? And it literally became that. It literally fucking became a multi-million-dollar relationship, because not only was I working side by side with you to make you get shit done, but we formed some type of connectionship that I think is now a friendship. I think I can call it a friendship.
100%.
Where I literally, even working for you, could call you and be like, dude, what about this? And what about this? And I'm struggling with this and I'm struggling with that. Even as I tell you this, I can transport myself to, we're driving in one of the white vans we had for the E3 Method weekend.
Yeah.
Driving on the interstate through Hartford, just having a conversation about life and business. I mean, shit, like I can, let's go back to something else that just popped in my mind. I think I was working for you. This was even before we, yeah, this was during the project management days, I believe. I went to, was it Underground X in New Orleans with you and Josh?
Yeah.
And you literally made us set an intention. What do you want to get out of this event?
Right.
I'd never really done that before, but you were adamant. You need to set your intention for what you're going to get out of this event, because then you will make it happen. So at the time, we had just signed on with Justin Brook to do some one-to-one coaching on media buying for TNH.
Right.
You guys, so there's another thing, right? You guys paid me $20 an hour. I got to tap into your mind, and let's be honest, you know, Mike is a brilliant mind as well. I got to work with Kyle. I got to work with Josh, like just a really great team.
It was a super good team.
Yeah. And on top of it, eventually, I didn't know this going in, but eventually your company fucking hired Justin Brook and paid me to learn from like one of the best advertisers at the time.
Right.
Which now Justin is a personal friend, and I'll circle back in a minute. So you set the intention. And at the time we had just inked the deal with Justin Brook. And I said, you know what? Justin's going to be there. I'm going to not just meet Justin, but I'm going to spend time getting to know Justin. And sure as shit, I saw the opportunity at that event when we went on the scavenger hunt.
Right.
Do you remember that? I went on a scavenger hunt with a group of, like, we broke up into teams, and I saw where Justin and his wife Shauna were going. And I went over and took that opportunity to introduce myself. And they're like, hey, do you want to be on the team with us? And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the time, Justin and Shauna, you know, were like, hey, you know, we're going to do this, but, you know, we're not really going to try and run around downtown New Orleans. And I'm like, fine, I'm going to hang with you guys. And I hung with them the whole fucking night.
Right. Yeah, they're
got
great.
to know them really well.
Such good people. Such good people.
Amazing people. And I literally can call both of them good friends. All because I set the intention of, I'm going to meet them because Tellman told me to set the intention, because I took a job at $20 an hour. So it all just circles back to, am I going to fucking have fun as a result of this project? And the answer is yes. I have no idea where it's going to go.
Right.
I mean, shit, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a minute. We've talked about I've mentioned I used to work with you.
Right.
What's the elephant in the room? I don't work with you anymore. I was let go at some point. I don't remember whether I was fired. I don't know whether we just parted ways. I don't really remember.
I don't really remember either.
But it doesn't
for whatever reason.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter to me, because that's what the universe wanted at the time. So here we are reconnecting, and this is what the universe wants. And this is just an opportunity where I go, I can reconnect with Tellman, which, by the way, I'm gonna fucking say this shamelessly to anybody listening. I laugh in all these Facebook groups when people bring up all these newfangled gurus, and I'm like, do you know Tellman? They're like, who? And I'm like, oh my God, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, so it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't I work with someone who has helped me out, has become a good friend, who's no longer known to the degree that he once was, which is
I haven't been doing the marketing guru thing for 15 years. Yeah, I've just been doing hypnosis, personal development stuff, like 95% of my attention.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
So,
But
I mean,
that doesn't take away from the fact that you are a fucking ridiculously smart marketer, and more people should pay attention to what you do, like flat out, dude. So yeah, that's why. I know that's a long convoluted way to explain why, but I also think that people need to hear that. People need to hear that experience and understand that you've got to be playing 4D chess. You've got to be thinking long term. And I don't think enough people think long term. So yes, I want to work with you. Yes, I want to collaborate. It could be for 30 days. It could be for 60 days. It could be for life. Who the fuck knows where this is going to go? But I know it's going to be fun. And that's important to me.
Awesome. Dude, so I'm not going to reveal any names on this, but last night I spoke with a very, very successful entrepreneur and marketer in the personal development, self-improvement arena that I've been friends with for many years. And he spoke about the changes that his business has gone through in the last few years and how much smaller it is now than it used to be. And how many people especially in the personal development space, but even in the internet marketing guru space, have experienced a massive contraction in their business, regardless of how it looks on the outside. Most of the old gurus have experienced a shrinkage. Shall we say?
Yeah.
And there are at the same time new people who are blowing up and blowing sky high in different ways, you know, which is also interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But one of the things that this guy said was that the only businesses that really seem to have survived and are doing well at all over, you know, the last 10, 15 years are the ones who had a full ascension path in place the whole time.
Yep.
And what I've been thinking about is the speed at which the economy and people's buying behavior is changing. I think it changes fast. The frequency that it changes has increased, especially with all of the major political and economic sways that are occurring right now. For all the various reasons that they're occurring, that we can see, and all the various reasons that we can't see, that we're literally completely unaware of, you know, which is probably most of them. And so I think there's this piece where you want to have your low ticket, you want to have your free experience in some way, shape, or form. Your low ticket, you want to have a good upsell path. You want to have low ticket continuity. You want to have high ticket continuity. You want to have high ticket sales, and you want to have a massive Slack adjuster at the back end. Your $100,000 offer, your $1 million offer if you've got the chops and you're in the right industry, right? And you need to be able to put attention and focus on the offer and the price point packaged in a way that your people are comfortable purchasing at, and that changes over time. And so to have all those things already in place, like essentially whatever it is you're offering packaged in each of these individual formats, I feel like it's an absolute necessity. So it's not like, should I offer it at this price point or that price point? The answer is yes. And I think that live stuff, as AI is becoming more pervasive, I think that live events are not necessarily in-person events, though that is great. I don't really want to do them much.
Yep.
They're expensive. They're time intensive, they're energy intensive, and I don't like them that much. But live events, live webinars where you're face to face with people, I think are very valuable. Anyway, point here is that I think we should run Kurt's workshop model and build out a lot of offers in rapid succession.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, well, I guess I'm wondering, when do you want to do our first workshop?
Bum, bum, bum. I don't know.
It's Saturday, March 8th. What do you know? Because I haven't looked. What do you know about the promotional process? Like, what kind of sales letter do we need? What kind of upsells do we need in order to run the model? Like, what needs to, like, I can talk for 3 hours on anything that I'm remotely knowledgeable at with 3 minutes of preparation. I'm good.
No shit. I mean, listen, the reality to answer all those questions, Tellman, comes down to what is the goal? How many people do we want to get in? At what price point? Does it matter whether we have 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, or is it good enough to just get one done and out of the way? And we're going to probably have to pick this up on Monday and discuss this, or you and I'll hop on a call separately and discuss some of this stuff.
Right.
But, here's the other thing. Do we need an upsell? I don't think we need an upsell. We can just get started with, hey, here's our workshop.
I think we do need an upsell. I think we probably need 2.
Okay.
And one of them, I think that so again, we can take a page from Kurt's book because he's already figured this out and he's willing to share it.
Yeah.
But my impression is, going on memory, that it's essentially $99 for workshop 1, and that's in the how to do marketing arena. We don't have to choose $99 as the price point. It might
he told
be
me 49 or 99.
Right. And then let's say that there are 5 additional workshops. So let's actually think about what they're likely to be and plan them out.
Yeah. So just to interrupt for 1
second, to the others.
Yeah, that was gonna be my suggestion. Was number 1, we don't necessarily need an upsell, but at the same time, we know the model and we could just say, hey, listen, we're going to be doing 4 more of these in total.
Well, I'll tell you, Rory, here's my intention.
Yep.
My intention is to grow the crap out of the Overcome Everything Inner Circle and the Overcome Everything Coaching Club. And I've in the past, I've sold the coaching club for $300 a month. And I've sold the Inner Circle for as low as $20 a month and as high as $99 a month. And I have a couple different options, but both of them come with huge libraries of recorded hypnosis sessions.
Yeah.
And the idea is, with the coaching club, is to have a group hypnosis session every week. And then the people who are on the session make requests on what they'd like it to be focused on. And then I create the session based on what they ask for, right? I record it live, and then everybody gets access to it, whether they showed up live or not. And so that really, it rewards people for showing up, and it gives people really awesome content that's very relevant and entrepreneurially focused overall. Yep. And so if we create front end workshops that are based on topics that have previously been best-selling hypnosis sessions, then I mean, and are geared toward entrepreneurial excellence overall, then we're going to attract more entrepreneurial people, So that way we could upsell to a workshop bundle. And we could upsell into a trial for either the coaching club or the Inner Circle. And all of that is basically ready. Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, these are things I don't know about your business yet, and I just took notes on. So yeah, now it absolutely is a no-brainer to put this together. As far as what we need for a funnel, I mean, I've got ClickFunnels and Go High Level. So with Go High Level, I don't know what you have. I'm just like, with Go High Level,
I also have both. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say we can spin off a sub account, but I mean, it's really easy. Like, I had a call with Kurt, and the next day I had my registration page set up. I don't have the checkout page yet. I don't have the upsells yet, but it's just a matter of we need to put a realistic timetable in place.
Right.
We do need to account for, and this is not an insult, we do need to account for your Tellmanisms. So, roadblocks and writing blocks and whatnot, but I don't see any reason why we can't get this done within the next couple weeks.
Yeah. How do you, and maybe I don't know if you have a process for this right now, but how do you get sales letters written right now? Do you write them? Do you have AI do them? Do you bring in a different copywriter to do them? Do you avoid doing them? What's the deal?
So yeah, I love writing sales letters to a certain degree. I almost always model one or two that I've seen.
Right.
Almost always, and then just make it my own.
Yeah.
I am not, unfortunately, right now at a level where I can bring in a copywriter. I don't have that kind of money to have a copywriter.
I didn't think that you were hiring a copywriter too. I was just curious, but
we
have something to sell. Like, are you just writing the letter and then maybe augmenting with AI or something like that?
Yeah. So 90% of the time, I write the letter. And by the way, my letters usually convert to cold traffic. Click to purchase around 4 to 6%, which is pretty damn good.
That's
pretty
great.
damn good. Yeah, right? Pretty damn good. So 90% of the time I write my own letters and I model it off of something else. Like, for instance, Frank Kern's Convert book that he did years ago. I modeled that for a book. I modeled that for a book funnel. I usually will ask two very good friends of mine to look at them and make suggestions to punch them up if they need it. So I get a little bit of help, but they're not writing it. They're just, copy chiefing it.
Right.
I did write a sales letter. I'd say 90%, maybe 75% using AI. And basically what I did there was I knew what I wanted to say. I had the overall format. But I basically went to AI. I put in the headline. I said, hey, this is the headline. This is the subhead. This is what my offer is. What questions do you need to know from me, or what answers do you need from me in order to help me structure it? And it spit out all these fucking awesome questions. And then I just went down the rabbit hole of using AI to answer those questions. And then AI spit out a letter for me that was like 3 or 4 pages. And I was like, no. This is not long enough. This is missing proof elements. This is missing this. This is missing that. So then I just went back to everything that I know about sales letter structures and finished it off.
Cool.
And so far that letter has brought me 3 new customers.
And that was the letter for, so what was the final letter for that you were selling? Like, what was the offer?
So this one that I used for AI,
or
the AI to help write, was my beat the control offer.
And is that a workshop, or is that the recording?
Oh no, that's a service. That's a service.
Okay, yeah. So this isn't following Kurt's system.
Well, no, but you asked me about sales letters.
No, I know. I'm just trying to zoom in. Yeah.
No, for a workshop registration, I'll write that myself. I don't need AI for that.
All right, cool. Yeah, I was just curious what your process was like.
And by the way, just to reveal more of my process, you bet your ass I pulled up Kurt's workshop page and have it right in front of me as I'm building my funnel. Like,
right. Cool. Yeah. Do you prefer to work in ClickFunnels or go high level these days?
I think ClickFunnels, just from an implementation standpoint, because it's just, I've been using it for so many fucking years.
Well, do you use Classic or the new one?
Classic.
Yeah, I use the Classic one too.
I've used the new one and it's okay, but
I heard it recently got a lot better. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't know. There was nothing wrong with 1.0. They should have just fucking made that better instead of building a whole new fucking platform.
Maybe yes and maybe no. I don't know.
Well, outward appearances, yes. Behind the scenes knowledge and insight, no. They should have fucking improved 1.0.
Right.
And I love Russell, by the way. Nothing bad to say about Russell.
Russell's awesome. I wonder if I guess it's for both of them. I wonder if Russell And I also wonder if Justin would like to be guest on the Get Shit Done show. I wonder if the shit would turn him off.
I don't know about, I think Justin would be okay with it. I don't know about Russell.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're the ones that's got a relationship with him. I don't.
Yeah.
Don't
No, I can reach out. I can reach out to her. We should start ramping. So one of the big things that people have asked me, Rory, and you've already jumped in and like started making this happen, which is killer, is Marlon Sanders actually reached out to me the other day because he's pretty good friends with Jonathan Mizell, and I meet with Mizell regularly, as I mentioned, and Marlon's like, you're hitting the podcasting pretty hard here, Tellman. Like, is it working well for lead generation? Is that what your purpose is? And I replied back and I said, it's not working that great for lead generation, though. From time to time, people do go and join our community at getshitdone.com. It's true. But it's not that big of a lead generation source. But what it is when we interview people, it creates so many opportunities. And so we are doing the Get Shit Done show 7 days a week, and we're getting to the point where we have 7 co-hosts. And ideally, we want to get to the point where we have 7 co-hosts, and every week we have 7 special guests.
Yep.
And the special guest is someone with a following, and every time, and we are constantly like growing the show and growing the caliber of the guests, right? So I think that's the next big shift, is to really focus on landing bigger and more predominant influencers in the greater entrepreneurial industry.
We can. Yeah, for sure.
We should definitely do it. Cool, dude. All right. It's been 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 33 seconds. So, Rory, do you want to do a brutally honest pitch for yourself?
Yeah.
Great.
If you want to learn to create better ads that work, go to brutallyhonestadreviews.com/GSD. I know saying create better ads that work is so hyperbolic. Like, listen, guys, if you're sick and tired of trying to come up with ad creative and you think you have to test hundreds of different angles, then this is the place for you, because I'm going to teach you how to create one ad, one headline that will beat all those hundreds, guaranteed.
All right. Rock and roll. That's a bold guarantee. Rock and roll. Brutally honest ad reviews. You got to teach me how to do that.
I think I told you what we do. I'll run your ads and I'll record Loom videos as I do them so that you learn what I'm doing.
That's right. It'll be awesome. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it, Rory. Today has been an awesome episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and a great brainstorm session and good tangents as well. Guys, you have 2 days left, today and tomorrow, to schedule your private hypnosis session with me at Name Your Own Price at workwithtellman.com. You're going to get 5 amazing bonuses, including 4 pre-recorded hypnosis sessions, including the Success Love Speed session, the Millionaire session. You're going to get my book, All Hypnosis is Self-Hypnosis. Anyway, you have this, it's all on the page, workwithtellman.com. You get to name your own price. Instead of paying $1,000 for private session, you get to name the price that's going to work the best for you, and it's the right price for the transformation that you want to create in yourself. So go check it out. And if you're not already a member, then follow Rory's lead and run on over to getshitdone.com. Join us and change your life.
Tellman.
What?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt that. I'm glad I caught you at the end of that mention, but I was just checking the comments and I have a sign me up as a guest from my dear friend, Laura Lee Sparks.
Cool.
That I want to reach out to Laura Lee. I think she would be perfect to have on Monday for episode 69. Yes, there's a double entendre there. No, it's not necessarily saying that about Laura Lee, but Laura Lee has that kind of personality where we could fuck her. I mean, she's She's awesome. So I'm going to ask her. I'm asking publicly if she's still watching and listening. But to tell you about Laura Lee, she started off direct response marketing, internet marketing, if you will, back with just a telephone and FedEx packages between clients.
Wow.
Because the technology was not there. She is a fucking rock star behind the scenes. She does have her own company. There's so much we could talk about. So I'm extending that invitation for Monday, to be determined if we get her Monday or not.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So.
Fantastic. And all right. Well, I'm very curious what you think the topic would be.
We'll figure that out. But
maybe, yeah, that sounds
we'll
great.
figure that out.
Cool.
But anyway, go to workwithtellman.com. Get
right.
your hypnosis session. Workwithtellman.com. What, 2 days left until Sunday?
Sunday
night?
at midnight.
Yeah, you'll thank me, guys, if you do it. I promise.
Rock and roll. Awesome. Thank you, Rory. Been a great episode. And
as always,
I guess we'll have Curtis tomorrow, and then we'll catch you and is it Laura Lee?
Yep, possibly.
Possibly
I'll find us a guest for Monday.
Cool. Rock and roll.
I'll find us a guest. All right, take care, buddy.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Bum 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 bum.